and welcome back to another episode of In the Sand Podcast. I'm always excited as ever to have you back. And I'm excited about every episode, but I'm especially excited about this one because it's my first time I get an opportunity to interview one of my former players. This is Malik Hines. Of course, he's no stranger to the game of basketball. Right now, he is working at Hines Community College here in Mississippi. And so we're excited just to be able to hear a little bit more about the college side. But I'm just excited about this one. And I'm gonna kind of change it up a little bit. We're gonna kind of dive in quickly into the story. I'm gonna kind of brag on this guy a little bit. But I first met him, of course, we're at Murrah High School. So we kind of taking it back to Murrah High School days. On the podcast, we kind of talked about this in general about my days. And so we're going to kind of just give a little bit of spotlight to my time at Murrah High School. I know Coach Fletcher and I know Coach Carlisle said they want to come on and interview and hear my story. So I'm not going to say too much just in case we let that kind of transpire. But again, I want to start there. And so just to brag a little bit on Malik, when I first met him, I was the ninth grade basketball coach, and everybody said, man, you got this tall kid that's coming over, man, got a big personality. And so a lot of times when you hear kids that got big personalities, you think that they're going to probably be a troublemaker, they're going to be hard to coach. But to be honest, man, Malik was far from that, man. He was very coachable. He worked extremely hard, and he always put himself in the best position to be successful. Even at a young age, he had aspirations to be a professional, and he had an amazing career in basketball. And I'm not going to steal his shine. I'm gonna let him talk a little bit more about that. But he was a very driven guy, and I was excited when we kind of connected, reconnected, just to be able to talk a little bit. And off camera, we talked about his business, his entrepreneurship. So again, a young man doing great things makes his old coach proud. So man, Malik, as I say, Coach Hines, man, welcome to the show.
Man, thanks for having me, Coach.
Yes, sir, man. So Malik, let's jump into it, man. I haven't talked about this publicly ever, except people who are close to me. And we never talked about this as well. But man, one of the hardest things, or I would say bittersweet moments, is when I saw y'all win that state championship, man.
Right out the gate, Coach.
I know I'm coming strong with it, man. I was thinking
right out the gate all
day. And just to give a little background story to it, of course, I coached Malik in the ninth grade. And so it was Malik, Jacob Ivories, a lot of more guys who played on that team. I know Booker Tarvin, Justin Smith, a lot of other guys. And I'm stopping there because I don't want to miss anybody. And I knew at that age, I said, these guys are going to win the state championship. And so with me being a Murrah grad, I took super pride in it. And I said, man, we're going to work extremely hard to put these guys in a position to win a championship. And I want to say Malik's ninth grade year was my second year teaching and coaching, but it was my first official year as the assistant head coach, because my first year I volunteered under Coach Frick. Malik came in under Coach Marlon Dorsey. And so Coach Dorsey gave me an opportunity to be able to coach. And we had some funny moments, and we'll probably talk about that. But that ninth grade team was special, man. Like it was special. We ended up losing. I think we lost in the semifinals to Forest Hill, I believe. So Malik, talk a little bit about that, man, because I know a lot of people have heard me talk, but they haven't heard other people kind of go into my coaching, things of that nature. So I know that's kind of been a while ago, but talk a little bit about just that ninth grade season and just the whole overall experience with playing ninth grade.
Man, that was a time, man. Honestly, I ain't thought about this in a while, but I will say this before I get into the basketball side. I still remember all 82 counties in Mississippi because of you, bro. Man, I still remember all 82 counties. But man, that was a fun year, like you said, man. We kind of knew, as a team that, we felt special. We had great chemistry in the classroom. We always played ball together outside of practice, outside of school and everything. We met up at the NBA almost every Saturday.
Yep.
Man, that was a time that I think what I remember most is the one-on-one drills we used to have to do.
Yep.
Remember? Used to make me and Bunny post up on the block, play
Yeah.
one-on-one for like 3 minutes straight.
Yeah.
We'll be killing each other on the block. The guards will have to play one-on-one. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy because I actually that's one of the drills that I do with kids now, on the coaching side is I
Yeah.
put a lot of one-on-one drills in so we can mainly focus on our defense and everything like that. So big shout out to you for that because one thing about me, I've always been a sponge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anytime somebody show me something, I try to take it and, do it to my liking and kind of just put it right back out on the market,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, that is major, man. And to be honest, man, I forgot about that, man. Shout out to Vonnie, man. I know Vonnie mom, she coaches at I think it's East Central, I believe. I believe no, I take it back. I think it's Northeast. No, she coaches at Northeast. And so shout out
Yeah,
to
I
her.
think so. I saw her when we played them this year. So
Yep.
yeah, it is Northeast. I saw her down there. Yep.
So it's always good to see her. Like I usually see her like high school games, or I see her at the clinics, and she always just say thank you for what you've did for my son. And I tell her again, y'all were just great kids, man. And I really forgot about that. And man, I forgot about them 82 counters, man. It's so funny. I'm glad you brought that up, man. Like really having this interview is taking me down memory lane, man. Because again, this is when I first
Same,
started.
same.
Yeah, man, it really did. And 82 counters you had to learn, man. And then to be honest, y'all was so talented. And I could be really transparent. I've always been transparent. I really didn't know too much of what I was doing for real, man. I was kind of learning as y'all was going along. And it kind of really spoiled me a lot because when I left Murrah High School and I went to another school that had kids that was not as talented, I really had to sit down and improve my craft as coaching because in all coaches, if they honest, they'll believe that when you got great players, all you really got to do is manage. You ain't really got to do too much. And then, like you said, always in the gym. Jacob, y'all was always in the gym. We'll practice at school, then y'all going to the NBA. So y'all did it. So it just made it easier for me. So again, that was good there, man. I'm gonna stop right here. I forgot about this point until you started talking, man. You spent a lot of time with Omar Carter, man. Talk about his legacy. Talk about some of the things that maybe you gleaned from him, some of the things that you probably took for granted. Because, and I would say this before you get started, I had a misconception about Omar Carter because his reputation sometimes got diminished a little bit because really, and me and my brother Justin talk about this all the time. Really, Omar was almost ahead of the game a little bit because the things that he was doing with guys that he invested in, those are the things that we're doing right now. Like he had guys like yourself. Like I don't know how tall were you in the ninth grade? You remember?
I was probably 6'3", 6'4". I stretched out my junior year.
You sure did. And so that's what I mean. See, at 6'3", 6'4", he had you doing guard skills and working in the post. And a lot of us old school coaches, we like, man, he's too tall to be doing that. But now look at the game now. So I give Omar a lot of credit in that matter of is that he saw things that was progressive that is paying dividends right now. So again, shout out to him on that. Of course, rest in peace with that. But Omar, talk a little bit about Malik, talk a little bit about Omar and we'll keep on going.
Man, first I got my dude tatted right here. When he died, man, that what's crazy is, my oldest brother is locked up. And what's crazy about that story with Omar is me and my little brothers was going to visit my older brother. He's down in Yazoo, locked up. As we was getting ready to turn into the prison, I was on the back seat. My brother looked back at me and was like, man, Omar just died. And, I'm like, Omar who? And he's like, man, Omar. And that messed the whole trip up going to see my brother, the ride back, everything, man. That was a tough one, because the way the cancer was hitting his body, man, it was really hard for me to, sit there and look at him take that, But he made it easier for us because even, dying of cancer in the wheelchair, he was still showing up to the gym, training kids. Kids were coming to his house. He was training them in their driveway. And honestly, coming up on the Omar, that was the thing that I took the most from him was learning how to work. And it's like the thing that I tell the guys at Hines every single day, man, embrace the grind. And like I said, that's just something that I took from him because it don't matter what time you call him at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I'm trying to get some shots up. He'll come get you. Let's go to the gym. He made sure we got to the gym. If we didn't have money to eat on the road, he made sure we ate. You know, man, he was like a father from home, our second father from home.
Yep.
You know, and like I said, the most that I took from him was just the passion to give, you know, when you want to be something and want to be successful, man, just to give everything you got in it. You know, and one thing I say is if you just work hard for Omar, he'll give you everything he got.
Yep.
He'll give you everything he got. And, you know, growing up, you know, when I first came, I admit, you know, when I first came, it was kind of weird to me because, you know, I'm like, man, people train for basketball like this every day. Yep. You know, like, man, we were kids, man. We were 10, 11, 12 years old. Yep. We running hills. We getting up 500 makes. Man, 101s was crazy in Chastain Gym in the summer and stuff like that. So I'm like, you know, he kind of, you know, like I said, when it first came around, it was a little uncomfortable, but it was just something that I had to get used to, yep. You know, and he would always just pull me to the side because he could see that at times like I would be uncomfortable in the gym and stuff, and he would just pull me to the side like, man, look, he always made stuff seem so easy about talking to you. Yep. Like, man, look, like you think paying light bills easy, you think paying rent easy, your mom and dad paying car notes, whatever. It's 8 of y'all in the house. They got to feed y'all, whatever. You know, that stuff ain't easy. Your mom and dad to get up and go to work every day, you know, so you can do this just like they get up and do it and take care of y'all. One day you will have your own family. So, you know, I'll be like, all right, I got you. You know, and then, you know, I tell him like, bro, you make it seem so easy. He would be like, man, everything is mental.
Yep.
You know, and again, that's one of the things. Any kid that I've trained here in Mississippi, back in Massachusetts, you know, I always tell them, man, life is a mental game. Basketball is a mental game. Yep. If you stay focused mentally, the body will follow.
Yep.
So, you know, I tell kids, like when we doing conditioning and Hines and everything, I say, man, if you start telling yourself, I'm tired, that's when your cramps come in. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. That's when your body ready to give in. So, like I said, the biggest thing I took from him was just passion, hard work, and just understanding that everything starts in the mind first. Yep. You know.
Man, I'm glad you shared that, man. And that's one thing that's one reason I started the podcast, but that's also one reason that the podcast is important because it allows you to share stories that everybody does not know, but it also allows you to see that person because again, all the things that you said, a lot of those things I missed early because all of the negative things that were said about, mm-hmm. I don't think people really sat down and say, let me really see what this guy's doing. Because sometimes when you do things that are new, that hasn't been done, you're going to automatically have critiques. And so that's kind of how it was. But everything, like you said, the training, because now you know it, I know it. Every kid now got a trainer. But again, he was doing that 10, 12 years ago before everybody was really getting on to it. So again, I thank you for sharing that, man. I know he was very special to you, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And a lot of other coaches who are on here listening, and again, it's like this. So again, a pinpoint I'm really trying to make is before we judge people, give people a hard time, try to run their name through the mud. And that's just in life. If you know doctors, dentists, the local garbage man, custodian, get to know people because sometimes it's not always what it seems. So that's something that I'm gonna really stick with on that matter of it. Now, Malik, let's talk about this a little bit, man. Now, of course, 9th grade year, great year, man. And that was an opportunity where we was like, man, we can really do some things. And then obviously, and everybody knows, and hopefully one day I can get Coach Dorsey on here, man, because again, he has a story to tell, and I have a story to tell, because everybody who knows what we're talking about now, it was some tough times in Murrah High School, man, during that time. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, Justin and I, we were talking about this earlier today about how you grow from things, you learn things, and et cetera. So I'm not gonna focus too much on the Marlon Dorsey part of it because I'm gonna allow him to share his story. But the part I do want to talk about is when Coach Dorsey was no longer going to coach at Murrah High School. The job came open. And so Malik, I'm feeling good because I'm like, man, I work with these ninth graders. We got these guys down here in the ninth grade. They're going to be coming up. I coached on them. They got a great rapport with me. I got a great rapport with them. I said, we got some kids that's going to be coming up that's going to do amazing. So in my mind, Malik, I'm thinking, hey, man, I'm a shoe-in for this job. And so I'm getting excited. I won a state championship in 2005. And I believe it was 2012 that shot. Was that 2012? Was that 12?
13.
13. So I'm thinking, yeah, it was 12 when I left. So I'm thinking in 2013, I'm about to bring another championship home for Murrah High School. And then they go in a different direction and hire somebody else. And again, we kind of know how that process works. We talked about that on a number of episodes, but I'm going to say that for my guy, Coach Fletcher and Coach Carlisle, we dig more into that. But I watch you all from a distance, man. And no lie, Malik, I was hurt, man, because I really wanted to be there because I knew that, man, y'all were going to win that state championship because we had already claimed it. We called it about 3 years.
Yeah.
And of course, shout out to Coach Speech, man. I'm glad that he got it. And people used to ask me, man, are you mad at Coach Speech? I'm like, Coach Speech didn't do anything. He was hired to do a job and he got to do it. And so I respect him like anybody else. But I ain't gonna lie, Malik, when y'all played, I think was it Meridian for the championship game?
Madison Central.
Madison Central. When y'all played Madison Central, man, somebody told me, Coach, come to the game. I said, I don't want to come, man, because I know my guy's gonna win. And I know I'm gonna be tough. And so I remember the last minute when it ticked down, man, I was about to walk out the gym and I said, I know they're about to win, but I said, I'm gonna just stand here and watch my guys run on the court and win that championship. And to be honest, Malik, that still sticks with me today because I'm still chasing a championship, man. I haven't had a team that I've coached personally like that. Maybe one team that got a little bit close to being even close to the Coliseum. But man, I still cherish that championship, man. So, man, talk about that championship run, man, because again, it wasn't easy for you all because you had a lot of games that really came down to the wire that really could have cut the season short, man. Let's talk about that season, and then talk about the championship game, man, because you balled out that championship game, man. You had an inside-out game that was amazing. You shot the ball well. You finished around the rim. You blocked a lot of shots. And I was happy to see that, man. So I know I'm still going down memory lane, but just talk about that season, man, and talk about that game.
Man, first I'd say what's crazy about that season, Coach, is we had a stat keeper. Her name was Miss Bonner.
Yeah.
She came from Bailey with Coach Speech and them. The whole staff had pretty much came from Bailey. That's when they returned to Bailey to the school that it is now.
Yep.
She ended up passing, Coach. I think it was right after Martin Luther King Day or right before.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was, yeah, man. It was crazy, man. It was out the blue, So I say RP to her. She actually, we got her name on our rings. So she ended up passing, man. And like I said, it was right after Christmas, right before Martin Luther King holiday. I remember because the Rumble in the South tournament in Mississippi College.
Yeah.
That was our first game we had without her. And we never, it was a tradition. She had I think the third seat on the bench, second or third seat on the bench. Nobody never sat right there for the rest of the year. And what I'm getting to is after she died, Coach, we lost one game that second half for the season. That's what I remember most. And that one game we lost was I think it was the North State Championship game against Madison Central.
Yep.
And then we had two more games after that in the big house. But from January up until March, man, I guess that just hit home for all of us because it was so sudden, man. It was out the blue, And like I said, we went on a run. We lost one game that second half for the season. That's all I can remember. And as far as that championship game, we sat in the locker room. I forgot who was playing the 6A girls before us, and we sat in that locker room and we, did a team prayer. I can't remember who was praying or what, but the prayer got so emotional, man. Everybody literally just started busting out in tears, busting out in tears. So we all just hugging each other and everything. Yo, we about to go get it, man. I remember me and Jacob, we did our little handshake. We hugged him. I said, bro, we ain't coming this far, bro. I said, we already lost one time this year. I said, we ain't coming this far. I said, bro, let's go on, bring it home, man. So, me, Jacob, Marcus Love, Josh Carroll, and I think Jonathan Cameron, I think that was our star five that night. I remember we huddled up. Josh Carroll was so hyped. He was like, man, let's go, man. He like, bro. So our whole mindset, like I said, we was all on one page, man, and it was, man, we weren't coming this far to lose. And, we was on the same thing. Like you just said, the last championship brought in was in '05. So, we was trying to go and get another one in there, man, so, and we honestly felt like, the pressure was on us.
Yeah, it was.
So, first year coach and everything like that. Then, like I said, the passing of our stat keeper and everything. So we felt like the pressure was on us, like I said. So we came out the locker room, man. And honestly, I remember, I never told nobody this. I'm not taking none away from the guys that played at Madison Central. Coach Lockhart at the time, that's my guy. Chase Carroll, Zay, Shaq Buchanan, all them guys from Manchester. We all grew up under the NBA umbrella. Yep. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I saw them guys, when they started calling out the star five and everything, I remember looking at Jacob and I was like, I don't see it in their eyes, bro. I don't see it. And Jacob was like, I'm on the same stuff, bro. I don't see. He was like, man, let's go and get it. So man, that the rest is history, man. Like I said, we balled out that game, man. We all did. Everybody chipped in. You hit the floor, you chipped in, man. So definitely shout out to the squad that year. And then big shout out to Coach Dorsey, man. I'm not gonna leave him unanswered. I actually was crazy. My first recruiting trip when I got to Hines was at the Rumble in the South in Mississippi College. And I ran into Coach Dorsey there some months back. And that was our first time running into each other since all that happened.
Yeah.
So, we took that little time to just catch up and everything like that. And he was kind of, again, I let him come on the show and tell his story, but he was kind of on the same thing. He want, man, bittersweet moment, which, could have just, stayed organic and everything like that. But, it's business and, business had to be tended to. But that was a great run, though, man. Great run.
Man, it was, man. Just hearing you, man, it's funny. It's how like stories or doing something or hearing something can just bring back so many emotions, man. And hearing that, man, I'm kind of emotional in both ways. I'm emotional because it's kind of making me sad that I wasn't there, but it's also emotional because I'm happy for you all, because you said it right, man. A lot of it started with, Coach Freak was on the way out, so we'll give him a little credit as well. But Coach Dorsey really started putting them guys together, man, and really making them even. And I know it was tough on him. And even in that situation, Malik, him and I had our relationship was strained. And it was strained because a lot of other people, I believe, were saying some things on my behalf that I didn't say. And I'm not sure
right.
Coach even really knows that, but hopefully deep down he knows who I am and he knows my heart. And we really haven't sat down and just chopped it up really about that. We've seen each other about 3 or 4 times. But I really think hopefully we can get them on and we can just really talk it out and kind of hash it out. But I think just who I am as a person, I think over time it shows. But I'm happy he's doing well, man. He's been excelling. A lot of people thought he wasn't going to get back to the pinnacle. He hasn't won that state championship yet. He's been to the Coliseum since then. But he's got a great mind. And those are one of the things that I see too. A lot of people look at the incident with Coach, but they don't really know him. And a lot of what I do,
right.
My mentality of how I approach the game, a lot of that comes from Coach. So that's why I told him, man, I ain't got nothing but love for him, man. So I'm glad you shared that, man. Like I said, that was special, man. All right, let's talk about this, man. Let's talk a little bit about your college career and just your journey after you left Murrah, because I know your journey was a little bit different than some, but back then it was a little bit different than some, but now your road to is kind of similar to what a lot of guys are doing now. So again, man, you were progressive at an early age as well. So kind of talk about just where the game is basketball has taken you since you left. I would say that championship night.
Oh man, first thing after that championship, man, again, it's just something about that year, bro. It's hard to forget. I remember after that championship, if anybody was going to Murrah at the time when I was there, they know I was throwing house parties. Yeah. So after we won state, man, we fell right into spring break. Like we won on that Saturday, we was out of school that Monday. I think that Tuesday night, Tuesday or Wednesday, I threw another house party. I'm like, everybody just shit it, man, pull up, man. We off old Ken with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So after that, a lot of people, I ain't gonna say hated, but a lot of people felt some type of way because I left after that, and everybody felt like that, we could have, went back to back with me and Jacob, anybody that, that was on that team, that was returning that next year. We always say if I would have stayed, chances are we definitely probably would have won again. But after that, I went to Life Center Academy in New Jersey, and I played for Purvis Ellison. I know you know who that is. And and really, coach, from there, that's kind of where the mindset part of basketball for me started kind of, wrinkling in as far as like how to go about stuff, why I'm doing this at this speed and everything like that. He kind of slowed the game down for me mentally.
Yeah.
And everything like that. And, I would tell him all the time, I see why you was the first pick. I see why you was the Final Four MVP in college and stuff like that. So he kind of just groomed me. And I tell him all the time, I appreciate him for that 1 year I was with him because he had me so ready for college, So, like I said, I went there, I went to Life Center and played for a year under him. Great team, great teammates. We was almost we was a few games away from the national high school championship. So I was kind of chasing that bad, because in my mind I'm like, everybody mad at me for leaving Murray and everything. That's a state championship. Like I got an opportunity now to win a national one, so that was just kind of my mindset. So from there, man, I was just sitting around the house one day over the summer after our season ended. Got a call that was like, man, we're a USA team, we really want you to come out, see if you, want to play with us for the summer. We, was taking a tour to Europe and everything like that. So I called Omar and was like, yo, these people or whatever. He was like, yeah, I'm the one who told them to call you or whatever. He's like, go do it. He said, it'll be a great experience. You can kind of start seeing what, the overseas life like and everything like that. So that summer, this prior to going to UMass, and that summer we was over there, we was in Paris for like a month, just playing them world games and stuff like that. And we went to like Montenegro and man, Russia. It was went a lot of places and played games and stuff like that. Like I said, we was over there from like 3 weeks to a month just playing games, and I kind of went, like I said, for the experience because, Omar kind of hit it on the head, everybody might not make it to the NBA or whatever, go ahead and get that experience to see if there's something that you can adapt to and everything like that, So enjoyed that. And then from there, man, once we came back from the tour, I went straight to UMass. School was starting in the fall. So I went straight to UMass, and that's when, my first year I played for Coach Derek Kellogg. He's actually, I think he's at Creighton now, assistant Coach McDermott. So when I got to UMass, that's when I met Lou Rowe. He was like our player development coach. He's like a UMass like legend. He was All-American in college, everything like that. Played for Calipari. Him and Coach Kellogg, they were teammates. Back when UMass was like #1 in the country and stuff like that. So like I said, Coach Purvis Ellison, he had me prepared, man. So I got to college. Lou was like, every program has coaches that are assigned to certain players on the roster.
Yeah.
You might have this coach might have 3 players, that coach might have 3 players, this coach might have 3 players, because the staff is so much bigger. So Lou Rowe was kind of like my coach, him and this other guy, Coach Chapman. And man, me and Lou Rowe just hit it off, man. And like I said, I'm a sponge. So I will always just ask like, man, What did you do different to help you get to the league? What did you do different to help you dominate this league at this level? Everything like that. And this got to a point where me and him would be working out 3, 4 in the morning, 10, 11 at night, things like that, you know. And to this day, like me and him still tight. He actually gave me my first high school coaching job. I was sitting at home one day. I was still in Jackson. He called me, hey man, I just got the job at the high school in Springfield, man. He's like, I want you to be my assistant. I was like, what? Are you serious? He was like, yeah. And he was like, because he was my trainer too. He trained me and everything, and I was getting ready to go play overseas and stuff like that. So he called me. He was like, yeah, man, because he got an AAU program too. And when we would train and get done, the kids would come in the gym. Yeah. And I would just, sitting around, I just help him, make sure his stuff was running smoothly and everything. And at that time, that's when I was kind of like, okay, I can see me getting into this coaching stuff or whatever. So it actually just started with, working AAU with him over the summer. Like I said, I was spending the whole summer with him training, and, we would be in the gym all day. So in between my sessions, he'll have AAU crackers or something like that. So like I said, I just help him running and everything like that. Started developing the love for the kids and everything like that. So, he kind of mentored me into the coaching side, and he will always tell me, one day you're gonna have to stop bouncing the ball or whatever. He was like, he always called it the other side, the coaching. He's like, man, it's okay to join the other side. Everybody can't do it, but he would tell me, with the love and passion that you have, I think you would be great at it. So I would, brush it off like, I think about it. So like I said, when he called me to actually come assist him for high school, that kind of just opened the doors for everything for me on the coaching side. So like I said, I mean, he's a great mentor to me, the godfather to my kids. So, like I said, our relationship's still tight. And if it wasn't for him, honestly, I don't even know if I really would have just dove into the coaching. Like I said, I don't know if he manipulated me or or what. But nah, man, he was kind of like Omar from home for me.
Yeah.
Like just another father figure. When I'm not around when I'm not around my dad and stuff like that. So, and man, like I said, he's the godfather of my kids. But me and him still talk at least once a week. He's still up there coaching at the school, still running his AAU program. Every now and then, I fly up there, help him out whenever I can and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Man, that's amazing, man. To leave Jackson, and yeah, a lot of people were big mad at you, man. But again, it's like I said earlier, when I first met you, man. Like you had aspirations to do something, and you knew at an early age what was best for you. But I understand it because again, in Jackson, man, it's for you to be able to, for people who played in Jackson, and I'm not being biased, but that was some high level basketball, and it was super competitive. And like you said, it just wasn't during the season, man. We're gonna meet at the air base or we're gonna meet at NBA.
It's going down, man.
Yeah, it don't matter where you are, whatever gym we're gonna be at, we're gonna be in sub 2, and we're gonna be wherever we're gonna be, it's gonna ball. And so it's important. So when you left, man, everybody know, like, okay, that's our time to get back in Murray's. But you made the best decision, and that's in life, though. And I'm glad that you were at that age able to make a decision, because you already see it in life. You're gonna make the best decision that's for you and your family, because at the end of the day, it don't really matter what you do. If you would have stayed or left, somebody still would have had something to say. So I'm glad you did that, man. I kept up with your stats a little bit when you were at UMass, and you did a good job. And I'm glad you in coaching, man, because you've always had a mind for it. And so let's talk a little bit about that as we begin to slowly wrap up. Of course, you're at Hines Community College, a historic program. Obviously here in Mississippi, obviously, I know Coach Fletcher is on the girls' side, man, good friend of mine. And so it's good to be able to see another side on the men's side. So Coach, talk to us a little bit about the coaching staff. Obviously talk to us about the coaching staff, who you work with. And then just talk about some of the ups and downs that you see with being a JUCO college coach, well, JUCO coach, excuse me, because I don't know if a lot of people realize this, that coaching in junior college, it's great, but there are some challenges that everybody doesn't know because you're working with a limited staff. You still got the same expectations. So just talk a little bit about your Hines experience, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Man, first off, Coach John Nova, that's the head coach, man. Shout out to him for even, giving me the opportunity. And big shout out to Coach Fletcher because he was a major piece in making that happen as well. So, I always tell him whenever I can, I'm forever grateful for, his blessing and everything. And, he always, one thing he told me was, man, in order to receive a blessing, you have to be a blessing. And, he'll tell me, like, you a blessing to somebody. Like, you may not know who, but, so like I tell him, man, I'm always grateful for, him putting in the word, talking to Coach Neville, and, Neville going through and saying, like, hey, this guy, this what fit me in my program, because what's crazy is me and Coach Neville was kind of in a similar position. I was still head coaching at Hillcrest by myself. I didn't have no assistant, and I was running the JV and the varsity by myself, boys.
Oh.
With no assist. Yeah. So when he called me, he didn't have an assistant either. So like I said, just from an opportunity standpoint, I mean, I know that, the goal is to get to the highest level. Just like, I had the same goal when I was playing, like I tell people, man, I didn't play in the NBA, but I played overseas, pro ball, I was getting checks, whatever. So it's not about being at the Power Fives and all that with me. It's just, I'm always big on the opportunity and what I do. So like I said, big shout out to Coach Neville and Coach Fletcher, man. But one thing I can say is you're right, limited staff, man. So it's only so much you can get done. But what I do like about it, man, with the JUCO coach, man, you got to be a dog.
Yep.
And that's kind of just the best way I can put it, in my short experience since I've been at Hinds my short time. Yep. Man, you gotta be a dog to go out, to hit that road, because in D1, man, you might can get some flight mileage or something like that. Man, in JUCO, man, you hitting that road, so from a recruiting standpoint, man, you got to be a dog. You got to really know how to go out and get guys, and get the right guys. So like I said, I mean, and for me, just for this to be my first year in it, man, I'm enjoying every second of it, but it's just like any other thing, man. You gotta make certain sacrifices and stuff like that. So like I said, when the recruiting time comes around, hitting the road away from the family, stuff like that. But like I said, to sum it up, just from a mentality standpoint, man, you gotta have that dog mindset, to get things done. Like I said, one thing that we preach on the Hinds every day, man, is when it comes to basketball, it has to be a job for you. That's one thing that we lead with. We don't recruit guys that basketball is a hobby for them. So we tell it it's either a hobby for you or it's a job. If it's a hobby, we tell you, man, stay where you at. Don't even worry about it. We'll fall back, but if it's a job for you, we can work with you. Yeah. And like I said, that one of the things that we preach every day in the gym, man, is embracing the grind. I tell people, this is just my saying, when you say, oh, I want to play at the highest level, I want to make it to the pros or whatever, and you give it minimum effort, I always tell kids, man, that's disrespectful to the guys that did it before you. Yeah. That what I'm saying, they paved this platform for you.
That's true.
So I tell guys, man, like I said, I didn't make it to the NBA and everything like that, but I worked hard to get to where I went and to have the life that I have now. I didn't wake up to none of this. I had to work for it and everything like that. So, man, like I said, to sum it up about the JUCO, man, you just got to be a dog and you got to understand, you have to. It's the same, it's the same task. these boys, they come in as boys. We want them to leave as men.
Yep.
You know, you know. So it's the same task, same objective as a high school coach to me or Division I coach. But it's just you got to look at it from the financial side. JUCOs, financially don't get that budget that Auburn might get or Georgia, something like that. So everything is real. It's almost like pulling teeth. Everything kind of tight. So you have to be real good at managing. You know what I'm saying? Time management. Like I said, yeah. But most importantly, man, gotta have that dog mindset to go out and get these flips. Especially, I'm just being honest, especially working at Hines. Being from Mississippi, we both know how Utica is. So to convince a guy to come to Utica for a year or for 2 years, man, you gotta have some edge with you and everything. You gotta be able to sell it. Like one thing Lou Rowe always told me, man, you can't pull up to the Ferrari lot with Hyundai money. it ain't gonna work out, man. So you gotta have some kind of edge, man, when you talking about first junior college, because we live in the world today, man, with these kids, man, for one, social media taking over everything.
It is.
And all these kids nowadays see is these Power 5 blue blood schools. Yep. That's all they think about. So when it's easy to say, oh, I'm going to do in the 8th, 9th grade. But when that high school career just winded down, that all you got is them JUCOs knocking at your door. You know what I'm saying? And yep. Now, as us as coaches, we have to try and convince this kid that, hey, man, it's okay. Come here for a year, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You can still bounce back on the Division I market or whatever. So like I said, I tell people, man, shout out to anybody that's coaching JUCO or anything like that, because you have to be a dog. And when you land these players, man, I think that just says a lot about you as the person or the coach, and what you bring to the table as far as your job and everything like that. So I tell you, it's not easy.
Yeah, man, I can imagine it, man. Just talking, I had a few junior college JUCO coaches on, and I just talking to them, they say the same thing, because it is a grind, and you gotta want it. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, at the JUCO level, you already know that the players are trying to advance, and the coaches said, but I know the coaches are trying to advance as well. So you got all like-minded people trying to pursue the number one goal is the championship, obviously, but to also advance and keep on moving ahead. So I'm excited about it. I'm really with interviewing so many junior colleges, junior college coaches. I'm excited to get out and come to some of the games. And coach, I always want to come to the games, but it's Mondays and Thursdays, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to come to them games because there's not a lot of them that's close, but because when you at a small school or you a 4A school, you might have a junior high game you got to go to, because junior high plays on Mondays and Thursdays, and then sometimes high school we go Tuesdays and Thursdays before football. So if we're not playing, the junior high team may be playing, but I'm gonna definitely make it out to get to a lot more games this year. At least try to make one, because I know I had, of course, y'all Hines. Coach Adams was at Gulf Coast. Coach Butler is at East Mississippi. Then my guy D Will, he's at Itawamba. Yeah, so it's so many people that I'm slowly building relationships with. I kind of get out there and kind of move around and see that. Let me ask you this, man. This summer, I've been really, of course, I coach at Richland High School. Man, I've been really trying to work with my guys on man-to-man defense. Coach, maybe you can help me out with this. And I don't know if y'all struggle with it or not when you were in the 9th grade, but it seems to me, and I talk to other coaches, that it's hard for kids to understand the concept of man-to-man. And in my mind, Coach, to me, it's not that difficult. And I'm trying to get my kids to always be in help side. I'm trying to work on with them communicating, know how to help on the backside. But for some reason, man, you get to 7-8 seconds, kids make a mistake and people take advantage of it. And because everybody is so skilled and everybody has great ball handling, can shoot the ball well, you make a mistake like that, you just they take advantage of you because you have messed up. Talk to me, man. How do you all because I know y'all get the best of the best players, so y'all may not have that problem as much. But man, what are some things that you probably can share that may help me out and other high school coaches on really how to continue to teach man to man at a high level? Because you're gonna play some zone, but sometimes man is gonna be what you're gonna need to do. But so any suggestion to help us coaches about how we can just help our kids at our level improve in man-to-man defense?
I mean, me personally, because that's kind of what I specialize in is the defense and just player development. I say I'm pretty well rounded, but I like to focus, me personally, I like to focus on defense and the player development individually. But what I do is I'm just speaking for me and what I've seen, work for me. And again, I take stuff from, I've been around a lot of coaches.
Yep.
And, I'd learned from Omar, I'd learned from you, I'd learned from Coach Dorsey, Lou, every coach, my overseas coach, everything. So I always take something that I learned to try to make it my own. But because I had that same problem when I was coaching at Hillcrest. And I said the same thing you said, man, it's not that hard. It can't be that difficult. And and my brothers would be in there, like I said, I didn't have an assistant, so my brothers would be in there kind of, helping me in there, like, man, look, you can't expect you out of them. I'm like, I get that, but it shouldn't be that difficult. But getting back to the question, what I do is I start off with just one-on-one. Be able to guard the man in front of you first.
Yeah.
If you can do that, we can kind of work around everything else. But I always tell people, man, be able to guard the ball.
Okay.
One thing, I took from college, my second college coach, Matt McCall, they came in after Derek Kellogg and them got out of there. One thing that I took from him was he would say, man, the ball scores, not your man. The ball scores. So again, if you got an on-ball defender, somebody on ball, man, everybody else, man, this basic principle, see man and ball. Yeah. So what I see when I go out now, because since I'm on the college level, I can go out and recruit and watch different high schools and stuff like that. And there's one thing that I see is the man-to-man defense is not up to par, but I think it's because, like you said earlier, a lot of kids got trainers now, and they start with the trainer. Nowadays everything is so offensive.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're a personal trainer, like I said, I train a couple of kids in the state, and we don't just, when you come to the gym with me, it might be days where it's just straight offense. But in that hour and a half we working out, I might spend 30 minutes straight defensive principles.
Yeah.
So I always say, man, for starters, man, and again, I tell people, defense is a mindset thing. It's a pride thing. Like, dude, you're not scoring on me, right? So just take that mindset to the floor and, just have at it. But I always tell people, man, start with one-on-one. And what I do is, and I literally just did this because we just wrapped up our first session, summer school at Hines. I did this earlier this week. I put, I shrink the court with cones and everything, and I make them play one-on-one full court.
Mm.
But the court is shrunk, and what I do is I tell the offense player, hey, no jump shots, right? Mm. So what I'm doing with that, within that drill, I feel like I'm teaching, both the offensive and defensive players to be tough, right? Because I feel like, if you just come down and settle it for jump shots every time, that's weak, right? You get a paint touch. And, for the defensive guy, man, look, you're going to let somebody drive you, all the way down the court and just stop and pop. I'd rather you work for it and try and, get some tough at the rim. But when somebody just coming down, stopping and popping, they make it look easy.
Sure do.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I try to do a lot of one-on-one stuff just to get it locked in their head mentally. Like, look, I have to be able to guard this guy. And then what I do is I like to call it progressive teaching. I always start one-on-one. Then I go 2-on-2 and 3-on-3. and I build all the way up to 5-on-5 in our shell drills and stuff like that. And I think with that, with the progressive teaching, if you go step by step, because a lot of people just go right out into 4-man shell, right?
Right.
So if you go step by step and break it down, I like to call it foundational teaching. I tell people when you build a house, you ain't about to come in and just start putting shingles on the roof. Mm-hmm. No, you got to get the pad. You got to get the track cover over there. You got to get the pad put down first.
You do.
Then you get your concrete and everything. Then you start building up. Everything goes up, right? So I tell people, try to get away from going straight into 4-on-4 shell and break down. And I think it takes a little more time, but would you rather, that time be some work or, you just rushing to go get over shell because you got a practice plan you want to follow. So I just look at it, what's important to you. With me, it's guarding the ball. I haven't been on a team, where scoring was a problem. It's basketball. People gonna score, right? It's just about who's going to score more. So again, I always, like I said, from working with AAU with Lou with 10 and 11-year-olds, once I said, hey, look, I'm gonna start coaching, I started going about it my way. Look, guard the ball 1-on-1 first. If you can do that and we can build off that, then we can work with something. So like I said, to me, just start with 1-on-1. Make it a habit of getting stops. One thing we did in college was we had this drill called the kill drill. You had to get 3 stops in a row in order to get off the floor. So, again, that's just mental toughness. So we would do a 4-man shell, but you had to get 3 straight stops. That means defensive rebound 3 times in a row to get out the drill. Coach, I'd have been in that drill in college for 45 minutes. Straight. Yeah. I had my team in Hillcrest. We sat in that drum for about an hour and a half one night. Straight. We put it in Hines. They sat in it for about 30 minutes, and like I said, it's just a mindset thing, man. So I feel like if you can get your guys collectively bought in on defense, then you can just break it down step by step. So like I said, my advice to you, it might work for you, it might not. And again, you can be like me, just take what you can and make it your own, because it's a copycat profession anyway. We all still doing the same stuff, it's just about how we teach it, right? So, like I said, within that, start off with 1-on-1 and make defense a priority in the program, So that's my take on that.
Man, I like that, man. It's good just listening to you talk, man. You just got so professional, man. You just got the professional, you got it down, man. I wrote that down, and I used to do some 1-on-1, and it's funny. I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm trying to remember, man. We did do 1-on-1 when we was in the 9th grade, and so we do a little bit of it, but not a lot though. But I wrote it down. Again, everybody knows the podcast, I'm always taking notes. So that's something I'm going to back to it, is just guarding the ball. And that's one thing that I've been kind of selling with my kids, because you are right. Like, if you just make stopping the basketball from getting a paint touch or getting to the rim, and make it so much easier. And I heard a college coach say this, defense can almost be easy if you take this approach. It's 5 guys guarding the ball. If all 5 guys are actively guarding the basketball, it's going to make it a little bit easier. So I agree with what you said. It's not now I'm guarding my man. We guard the basketball. And when I broke that down, I told my kids, man, it's 5 of us guarding this thing. If 5 of us guarding this one object, man, it shouldn't be that. But you said it, man, it can't be this hard, man. But man, we struggling with it, man. And coach, and with my team, man, Malik, if I had you on my team, man, it'd help us out a lot. My tallest guy maybe 6'2", man, but man, I got a lot of guys that like 5'9", 5'11". We're a small basketball team, so we have to play defense and we got to get charges. But for some reason, we gotta just keep drilling. And so that's kind of what I saw in the summer. I got a list of things that I saw that we didn't do well, and take July off. I might get a couple of days in the gym, and when we get back to August, man, we're gonna be really focusing on being tough, a tougher basketball team. So
and you just play defensive games with incentives. You know,
Yeah.
that's what we do. Like I said, you just make defense a priority. I'm hearing you said you got a smaller team.
Yeah.
Man, I call that a rat pack. They supposed to be hounding, you know what, out that ball. You
Yeah.
got a small team, man. Man, go get that ball. Go
Yeah.
get it. You go get it, get a steal, go lay it up, man. How bad you want to get it again?
That's true.
You know, so yeah, like I said, man, if you just incorporate just one-on-ones as much as you can, and like I said, making guarding that ball a priority, I think you can take some steps forward, man.
I'm taking it down, man. I'm definitely gonna do that defense, make it a priority. All right, Coach, man, as we getting to wrap it up, man, this is the closing segment of the podcast. It's one of our most popular, man. We call it fast break questions, where we just kind of throw out some basketball questions from you, man. A lot of our fans just kind of want to hear other coaches talk basketball or whatever coach we have on. We got football coaches on, baseball. Just talk about their sport. So I'm gonna throw a couple questions out there and just see it. Man, top JPS ballers, man. What's your top 5 JPS?
Man,
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 but and you can't
man,
name anybody, you can't name anybody from Murrah, man. But just and these could be guys you play with, it could be guys a little bit younger or guys a little bit older, man. But man, give me a top 5 JPS man basketball players.
man, you can't. No murder, guys, because I'm gonna go on Drake and JY first. Hey, but man, that's crazy, man. Me and my dad the other day, we was talking about high school ball and stuff, and he asked me, man, have you talked to that kid Roger Woods? Like I was like, no, you know, last I heard he was, you know, coaching in college too. So I definitely say him. He won. Uh, Malik Newman for sure. You know, we play AAU and stuff together. You know, he was under the Omar brother. You know, we trained and stuff every morning before school.
Yep.
Definitely say him. Uh, Fred Thomas.
Yeah, Fred.
Hey, he stopped us from going that first year.
I know it. If it wasn't for Fred, I probably still would have been at Murrah. I would have showed them, boy, I can lead
Man,
the first round.
man, Fred. That's 3.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh, come on, man. J Rock.
Yo,
J
Jay.
Rock, man. Come on, man. Lil J Rock. Lil J Rock still giving people hell, man.
Oh, at the airbase, man.
Man, yep. No, who else? Uh, that's 4. Who else? Trying to think who else the JPS was balling. Mm. Oh, Stringer.
Yeah.
Andre Stringer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
these guys that I saw, you know, with my own eyes, right, you know, I played against Rock and all of them, but I remember like the first couple of times I actually saw Andre Stringer play in Forest Hill, like
Yeah.
just going to some high school games one night with my cousin. Yeah, he was definitely getting off. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Shout out to Stringer, man. He's at JA now, I believe. He's at JA coaching, assistant coach now. But yeah, man, Stringer did.
okay.
But man, like you said, I'm gonna go back to them first 2 names you named, Drake and Jay Wise, man. Of course, I know the old heads will be like, man, there's a lot more better balls that came through Murrah than them guys. But man, them guys when they
Mm-hmm.
played was just amazing, man. Jay Wise, obviously, he was my teammate, smooth with it. And again, Don Drekers, man, like that time when Don Drekers was playing. You had Stringer, you had Andre Stringer, you had Don Drekers, you had I think Trent and them out of Wingfield. Man, everybody had
Yep.
that group of guys was just very special, man. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, LaQuinn Ross.
Yeah, I forgot about you. I forgot about Q. Like it was so many just athletic guys on every team, man. And to be honest, man, if you if you could make any JPS game, it don't matter who was playing against one another, man, you was gonna see a great basketball game. You're gonna see some
Yep.
great coaching. You're gonna see some great fans.
Yep.
You're gonna hear some great music. Cause man, during that time, right when you was coming through high school, man, that's when everybody had a DJ. So
Yep.
it was live during them time. I miss those days of Jackson Public School, man.
Facts. Facts.
All right, here's one of our most popular questions on the podcast, man. what would be your top 5 NBA players of all time? And it don't have to be by position unless you want to, but man, your top 5 NBA players.
Ooh, I go again. I'm big on guys that I saw. You know, like I love Mike, my guy. But I don't remember really just watching no Bulls game. That's before my time. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm gonna go AI, Kobe for sure. Like them two for sure. Uh, I'm gonna go Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Big fundamentals. You know, anybody that knows me play, they know I'm big on the fundamentals. So, and a lot of that came from watching Tim Duncan, uh, Shaq, and this gonna throw everybody off, man. I already know, but I'm gonna go Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay, man. I think he one of the like one of them guys that he real like slept on, man. You know, talking about a bucket. If you just go back and look at his work, man,
Yeah.
Rudy was a problem, you know. So I was always an underdog guy. That's just me, you know. So I can go on with just name underdog guy. That was my guys in the league, but top one for sure in his prime, like fresh out of UConn and stuff, them couple years in the league. Yeah, Rudy was a problem.
Yeah, man. Rudy had a nice game, man. He really did. Man, I like your list, man. Your list is totally different than anybody we ever had on the show. Man, you don't got Jordan, you don't got LeBron in there, man. So man, you got one that everybody gonna be talking about. You got AI, Kobe, Tim, Shaq, and Rudy Gay, man. All legends in and of themselves. Let me ask you this. You know, we're in the super team era. Obviously, when this is being recorded, man, we got the Phoenix Suns, man. Bradley Beal just officially made it. We're trying to figure out where James Harden is going. So let's make you, man, you a GM. You get an opportunity to put a super team together and talk to me. What would be give me a team. Give me what a team looks like because I like your all-time NBA players because you went totally different and you had a perspective on what you had. So I want to just see what kind of team you would put together if you were a GM, man, in this super team era.
Man, just based off what the NBA at right now, man. You give me the Denver Nuggets again.
Okay.
Uh, Give the Denver Nuggets. I have Joker still on there.
Gotcha.
I keep Murray,
Okay.
and for a backup big, I'm bringing Bam out of Bio over
Hey, bam. All right.
there playing behind Joker. Now I got two playmaking bigs.
You do. He been playing good too.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna go. Oh, I'm gonna probably go. I don't care. I'm going John Morant, man. Give me that young gunner. Give me him. Real talk, man. Man, I tell people, and especially when I was coaching high school, man, if you're an athletic point guard, bro, man, you going it's hard not to be seen.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
It
when
really is.
you're an athletic point guard, you know, it's hard not to be seen. I'm like, man, sometimes, cause I done seen it, bro, walking in like AAU gyms, bro. That 6'2" kid that's doing the windmill and warm-ups, he getting more attention than the 7'1" kid that's two rims over. You know, so I'm big on explosive guards, man. So like I said, you give me that Nuggets team with just them few guys right there, keep everything else where it is. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Because we all know Joker Joker go set everything up anyway. So he gonna continue to be a problem. Then I'll probably say give me Luca. Give me Luca with that big time shot maker. Him and Murray. Yeah, we got a problem.
Yeah, that's a
But
that's a, that's a team now.
but truth be told, coach, man, I don't really sit down and watch the NBA, man, to really to get into the playoffs, man. It's hard to pass up in college basketball games. And I always tell people that, man, you want to watch coaching, you want to watch some hard nose. you want to actually learn basketball, like, you know, if I'm a coach and I'm trying to learn how to get into sets and stuff like that, man, you watch some college,
Yeah.
you know. So, like I said, I tell people all the time, you know, my brothers come to the crib, man, you ain't watching the Lakers play. Like, man, it ain't the playoffs, no. You know, but if it's West Virginia versus Creighton or something, I'm about to sit down and put my feet up. We about to watch that because, you know, when I watch some college games, that's what I do. I watch games with my notepad.
Yeah.
And I sit there, you know, and then I see them run the set like one of my college coaches that, you know, I try to idolize Jay Wright, you
Yeah.
know. And when Nova played, and, you know, I always tell people, man, if I could do it all over again, that's probably who I would have went and played for, you know. So, and it's crazy because I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, I remember when I took my visit up there, and he asked me, he was like, would you be willing to red shirt? I told him, no. I'm like, I worked too hard to red shirt. And I think then, I honestly think right then he probably got a little, you know, instant in me. And we just understandable. You know, I get it. It's business. He's like, I can go find another kid or whatever. So, but I respect his craft. And, you know, if you watch Nova play, man, they big on spacing.
Yep.
They spacing is key. They all like he make like we talking priorities. It's a priority for them to get paint touches. You know, and I tell people, you know, and I keep saying people. I mean the kids when I'm coaching this stuff. Man, look, put pressure on that paint.
Yeah.
Make that defense cave in. And what he do is, you know, every year they almost lead the nation in 3-point attempts.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But again, I was recruited there. I took visit. The way they work in their individuals is exactly how they play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They getting up them shots at a rapid pace. They moving off the ball, catch a shoot. Guards got to get 2 feet in the paint, get hit with that pad, make a good pass out and everything. And, you know, I'm like, if I ever get into coaching, this how I want it to look. So like I said, I don't really too much sit down too fast and watch an NBA game, man. If anything, it's gonna be some college basketball to where I can get my notebook out and I can, like I said, they might do a set or something. I might rewind and like, hold on, let me see, you know. I done did that, man. You know, watching games. You know, like I said, when I was coaching in Hillcrest, I be sitting here watching the college games. They do something. You know, rewind it. I draw it up on my notebook. I can't wait to get to the gym tomorrow to see if this, you know, what this will look like with my group. Yeah, and then, you know, I go and put it in. They like, yeah, coach, we like this. I'm like, yeah, I just saw TV last night. You know, so, but yeah, man, you know, so like I said, college basketball for me all day, every day.
Man, it's funny you said that, man, and I said the same thing too. That I kind of wait into the playoffs for the NBA to start. But what I really start focusing on the NBA, I watched a little bit more, and this is probably just my not just being knowledgeable of the game. When I grew up watching the NBA, I never thought the NBA ran sets, and I know I talked about this last time on the episode with Coach Jones. Um, it's just hard to focus if you're not focused. And what I mean by that is the NBA is so good because they're professionals. They have so many sets, they have a system that they're always doing something that's a part of their scheme. So what I've been doing like you, I've been stopping and rewinding, but I just been studying the set and their motion offense and what they got going on. Like Golden State is somebody I watch. Like everything that they do. Some people just think Steph just come down and shoot a 3 or he just happened to run off this screen. Now, everything they do is script. It has a script to it. It has a rhyme. It has a reason to it. So that's kind of been with me because I agree with you. Sometimes with the NBA, you don't really get to see what you see like on the college level until, as they say, when the game means something. So to help me kind of still get some basketball in when I don't have college, I just try to understand what their system is looking like. And we're going to try to implement some things that I've been watching just over time, but that's the part that I like, man. But I agree. College basketball is kind of where you want to see it.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, I know De'Aaron Fox said earlier in the year, like he said he don't like college. He said it's some not good basketball, boom, boom, boom. And I was kind of confused with that because you rarely see that. So maybe it was something that he saw. I'm not sure with that. Man, coach, Man, it was a great podcast, man. I was excited to have you on, man. Just excited to talk basketball with you, catch up with you, man. And I'm super proud of what you're doing, man. You've
Yes,
done
sir. Yes, sir.
stuff. You again, you're very intelligent, man. You're a family man. You got your own business. You got you're pursuing so many different things at a young age, man. And just from a coach to another coach, a coach to a former player, man, just man to man, bro. I'm proud of you for what you.
Appreciate the coach.
I appreciate the shout out, man, that you gave me, man. Again, I was young then, man, just trying to do the best I can with some young guys and being in a traditional Merle. But we had some good times. But I just thank you, man, for just the kind words, man. And as we
For
wrap,
sure.
man, we always call this the last shot. And what this is that we allow our guests to be able to just to close the show, man. And we let you close it any way you want. You can shout out somebody, you can leave us with a thought of the day. We just give you the floor to take as much time and just kind of give us your last word, man. So Coach Hines, man, go ahead and take the last shot.
Man, I'm gonna use it to promote my business. You know what I mean?
Do that,
Man,
man.
it is.
Yeah.
Man, me and my brother, like I said, we have a landscaping company where we, service residential and commercial, properties and everything. We have churches, we cut schools, homes, townhomes. We do pretty much any type of landscape work except irrigation. Heavy machinery work, but mulching, pine strawing, hedge trimming, herbicide spraying, anything to keep the yard manicured, man. We got it. I paint as well, we going I'm LLC my business here soon. It's not gonna be a side hustle no more. I'm gonna go full out with it, we call wall doctor. That's my business name. Landscaping is the lawn surgeon. And for the paint, we're gonna be the wall doctor. So yeah, try to keep everything, kind of close. And one thing about our businesses, man, everything is family ran. You know, everything family ran. Me and my brother got the landscaping. Me and my cousin doing the paint and stuff. I'm starting to get my nephews out. Over the summer they come out and help and everything. For money and stuff. But I tell them, man, don't chase the money. Chase the skill. I tell my nephew, man, look, he live in a cul-de-sac. I'm like, dude, it's like 8 houses on your street. Instead of coming out, trying to make a couple of dollars landscaping, man, go lock in on them 8 houses on your street. You don't have to leave off the street. You got $1,000 in cash right there on your street. So, one thing that I do at the school and just with kids that I train and stuff, I always try and get them, the advice that, the people before me gave me, which one thing that I took and ran with was, man, let your money work for you. Don't work for money. And like I said, and that's kind of the life that I'm trying to live right now and everything, especially having kids and stuff, man, we can't take this stuff with us. I want to be able to leave this for my son, that for my sons, stuff like that. So, man, like I said, that's the best thing that you can do is, what I'm saying, let your money work for you, because once you start working for money, it's kind of enslaving yourself a little bit. But you know what? When you go about it the right way, when you put passion into it and everything like that, you will reap the benefits. So I always tell people, man, either do it with passion or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
So I don't have step with nothing. Like I said, landscaping started out of just going to pick up sticks when the hurricane came. And, we started out with 96 Grand Cherokee. Now we got trucks and trailers and things like that. And, like I said, paint just started out, the garage got told, had to repaint the garage and everything. Looking at it like, this don't look bad, man. Take a picture of it, put it on social media, and then, people start calling and everything. So like I said, it's stuff going from being side hustles to actual, LLC businesses for us. And, so, and I look at it, man, it's passive income. Mm-hmm. And again, that's just your money working for you. So that's the lifestyle, man, that I'm trying to get to and everything like that. And that's what I'm chasing right now, because at the end of the day, man, if you don't bet on nobody, at least bet on yourself. So That's all I got for a coach.
Man, I like it, man. Chase the skill, man. Now, coach, let them know how they can find you, contact you, man. I got lung surgeon. Then you say you're gonna be the wall doctor, man. But let people know how they can reach you, contact you, find you, social media. So
Man, literally today, me and my brother, we was coming down. We were just doing like some, just working and stuff, just getting our paperwork and stuff ready because we try to work ahead every week to line all the yards and properties up and everything. And we were just coming down 18 and saw a billboard and we looked at each other and was like, they need to be our next step. But right now, man, you can find me on Instagram, at Hefe Hines. You can find me on Facebook, Malik Hines, Twitter at Hefe Hines. Like I said, lawn surgeon. You can give me a call, 601-985-7726, or you can give my brother Ken a call, 601-966-0461. And we'll come out. We do free estimates, man. A lot of people I call, say, man, can you come look at my property? It'll be $50 for me to come. Everything free estimate, man. You call, we operate. That's just how we get down.
Hey, I like it, man. Hey, fans, supporters, listeners of In the Sand Podcast, please come out and support Coach Malik Hines. Got so many things going on. And again, you can just listening to this interview, just listening to him communicate, talk. He's going to be passionate about what he's doing and he's going to work hard for you. And again, man, anybody we bring on the podcast, man, they got something good in them. So I'm just excited, man, what you got going on, man. Definitely, man, gonna check you out on your business. I want to support in any way that we can. So, man, thank you for coming out on the podcast, man. And again,
thanks for having me, Coach.
Oh man, anytime. I always got to support my people, man. And like you said,
oh yeah,
it's always been family, man. It's funny. All my kids now, well, all my players that I coach, they all say the same thing, and it's consistent from day one. It don't matter whatever we do, offensively, defensively. At the end of the day, everybody that comes through to our program, we always talk big about family. And I let people know, I just ain't saying this, man. Like when you spend that time with us and we invest in you, man, for the rest of your life, man, we always gonna be family. And I think just having you on the podcast, man, speaks volumes to what I really, really mean in that. So until next time, as we always say on the podcast, be nice and be kind to someone. And we'll see you next episode.
All right, now.